What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Isis. His name is Mr. Boat. Boatimus Prime. Maybe. I mean, the map is Midgard. This is game number 2 of this best of 3 for the Vubli Champions League. It's currently 1-0 for Rapl, taking that first game off of Mr. Boat on Frozen Wastes with a nice Ragnarok timing. Moving into game number 2, we've got Midgard. We've got Odin versus Isis. This is actually one of those matchups which I think is a little bit funny in the sense that on paper, like, Isis should dominate this, but in reality, Norse players have been getting a lot better at the game, and they're starting to do a lot. They're starting to make what they do a lot more crisp. And they're starting to really tap into the potential of the Norse villages. These dwarves here, they gather faster, 1.09 gold compared to an Egyptian laborer, which is only at 0.82 gold a second. So big advantage in the dwarves, and then obviously gatherers will be gathering faster on everything except for gold than the laborers as well. So the Norse players have really been doing some nice things here. The fishing ships here, I don't have gathers at 54, so they're actually exactly the same. But what we're probably going to see here from Rapl is he's just going to try, if he can get access to this town center and this gold mine, he should just be able to be in a very decent position. Mr. Boat basically has to hit an Ancestors Eclipse timing and hit some damage with the Ancestors Eclipse. Sometimes it's worth it to simply just Ancestors Eclipse your opponent's economy in this map just to slow them down straight away, because you can essentially delay their economy for the entire minute that the Ancestors Eclipse is out, and at that stage it may be worth it, because you can then go for a gold starve with Scorpion Men, Axemen, Chariots, and priests with funeral rites, and that can work really nicely as well. So we'll see what Rapl's going to go for. We'll see what Mr. Boat's going to go for. Hopefully Mr. Boat doesn't go for a straight fast mythic. They tend to be a little bit lackluster, but we'll see. I've seen it work as well, but who really knows? Villagers on wood for Mr. Boat are 5. Rapl's build, he's gotten 3 dwarves so far. He's gotten 6 villagers onto the wood, and he's starting to chuck the villagers over onto the food now. So he should be getting a decent amount of fishing ships. You definitely want to go up to at least 12 fishing ships with Norse, if not more, in order to hit timings that are really good. So we'll see how what he chooses to do in that regard. We've got the first relic being found here, the flagstone of Buhen, and we also have at the top of the map a Pygmalion's statue. Feels good. Now we see the fishing ships moving up to the top side of the map. We get another dock coming over. Mr. Boat's got some nice fish over here. In fact, he's got some nice fish here as well. So he's just going to be scouting around. He probably should come back to this fish, but maybe he's just searching for a potential third dock placement here, which I do like if he's going to keep going with that, just to see where he should put that third dock. And Rapl, on the other hand, look at all these fishing spots he's got. He's got a ton of them. What is that, 9? I can just select It's got 11 fishing ship spots that are just close to this home dock. And then he's got some spots over here. He's got some spots up here as well. So he's going to be completely fine. We do see him going up through what looked to be Heimdall for a second there, but he decided against that to go for the Freya. Heimdall against Isis. Bit of a question mark. So, such is life. Now we've got the dock coming up for the Rapl, and Mr. Boat's still not advancing, but he's got 14 fishing ship. We see a couple more fishing ship being built for Rapl, finishing off these spots over here. And Mr. Boat just about to wrap up over on this side. Just one more fishing ship needed, and he's going to be fairly decently positioned in this game with 16 fish. Same for Rapl-ish. Probably one more up here, isn't there? Yeah, there's a spot just here for him. Anyways, Temple's up, some Herso being built. Need to be careful about that one. We do see that Mrboat is about to advance. He's very late to the classical age here. We don't see a monument just yet, so he's going to have to throw that up because maybe Freya comes in and maybe he gets this forest burned straight away. Otherwise, it wouldn't get used pretty much anywhere. I mean, maybe you want to hold on to the forest fire for opening this up, maybe opening this up, preventing this one from getting walled around. Wouldn't be a bad idea to hold on to the forest fire for here. We see the ravens flapping around looking for something. The monument to the villagers trying to get spammed up as fast as he can with 3 villagers here, and he will get that one up in time. The ravens not going to the right spot, and no forest fire coming in for Mrboat. But per scene should have been researched already by Rapl. He has got it, so that's an advantage, a big advantage in advancing faster on these water maps. It's one of those things that I kind of suggest for the Uranus players to start doing, in the fact that you can't really do any other build apart from the 430 on water that's any good. So if you go for early per scene, that can kind of make up for the fact you have to advance a little bit faster and get those fishing ships out as well. So we'll see what's happening here. Per scene coming through from Mrboat. Armory coming up, and we are going to be seeing a fast heroic here from Mrboat. So essentially what this is going to have to be for Mrboat is Ancestors Eclipse on Rapl's economy. Rapl probably will be able to get Heroic Age before that comes down, but then the Ancestors Eclipse will delay the economy enough that you can then push through and do some decent damage. We don't see too many longboats out for Rapl. He's got 3 over here. Maybe going to be looking to move forward and hit some harass fairly shortly, but Mrboat almost able to advance. He's just eating up the rest of these cows. The armory just about finished off. And look at the resources for Rapl. This is simply just from getting per scene first. Absolutely huge. Gives him a ton of food. And he's going to be in a fantastic position. You see he's throwing up a longhouse. He's got his armory up already. So he's going to be looking to go to the next age. And he's going to have a couple of longboats to deal damage. There's the Nephthys on the way for Mrboat. Prosperity coming through. We've got the Sphinx around the back as well. Mrboat should throw down a couple more monuments, if not just one more monument, so we can spam out Scorpion Man. But now the longboat's coming in, going to be hitting some harass. We've got some cabinets coming through to defend these locations. The fishing ship over here going to be coming back and dangerously fishing with 4 HP remaining while the Sphinx comes in, going to attempt to take a dwarf here. One more attack will kill this one off, and Rapl not paying attention to this one. Does lose that dwarf. Unfortunately, the cabinets over here do push the longboats back, but if they turn around, they're going to have a decent fight here if he wants to try that. But now I've got some more units coming out for Rapl to Herser. We got a ton of Herser, actually, as maybe, obviously, Rappel's going to be sensing some sort of Ancestors Eclipse coming his way, so he's going to need those Herser to defend against this. But it is the fully buffed Nephthys, so we'll see what Mrboat's going to do. I don't hate Mythic Age here either for Mrboat. If he goes straight to the Mythic Age off of this, with builds a Midgard, gets a market, goes to the Mythic Age, and goes through Thoth of all gods straight away. What you can do with that then is you can make Phoenix. And then what does Rapl do? Rappel's going to be in have a lot of problems because he's going to have to be over here on this gold mine. The hill fort will get taken down with a meteor or something like that. And then the Ancestors Eclipse follow up with Phoenix behind it. It's huge, but it's looking like Mrboat getting his Migdol up, getting his Siege Works, getting Salt Amphora. He is throwing his market up, so this may be a Mythic Age behind it, but we'll see what Rappel's going to do behind this one as well. We don't see him getting... Oh, we do see Salt Amphora for Rapl as well, so both players going to have that upgrade, going to have a ton of resources. See the cabinet over here is falling. Nice micro from Rapl to finish that one, or to prevent him from losing any more HP. We see the dock coming in to help out. And a Kraken coming through for Rapl. I thought he went through Skadi. He went through Njord. Obviously wants to get that Ring Giver upgrade for his Jarl to deal with any sort of myth unit spammage. But again, if we just go for Thoth here, he's not going. He's going for... We just go for Thoth. You have some wild opportunities here. Obviously a bit of a strange and unconventional strategy, but I don't see what Rapl would do or could do to stop a 115 population push with Phoenix follow-up in this situation. Meteor, Ancestors Eclipse, no Frost because he's gone through Njord. But instead, Rapl's just getting his town center, getting his economy going. He's going to have Jarls. He's got Ulf Jarls now with the medium cavalry. Going to be working towards getting himself the gold to get Ring Giver. Actually, he's already got it. He just needs the gold. I meant to say favor. He's already got the favor to get Ring Giver, so he can start working on that. And Mrboat looks like he is simply just going for a timing push here. We got the chariot archers getting built out. Tons of those elephant. Do we have funeral rites? No funeral rites for Mrboat. Obviously, doesn't care that much about a potential mountain giant timings here, or even against about the walking woods. Now we see the units moving in. We've got walking woods coming down here as well. Still, that's just these units here. They're decent, but they die very, very quickly. If Mrboat could get his funeral rites out, which he doesn't get, he's not sending his Pharaoh fort either, making some chariot archers now. Looks like Mrboat's going to be retreating back. You cannot retreat here. You basically have to take this fight, and he's going to be retreating. He's going to lose a lot of HP retreating here. We'll see if he does decide to turn around and fight this one. But the siege towers going down here as Mrboat is like, what have I done? Complete misstep. One siege tower almost down. Mrboat, he's still not turning around and taking this fight, making some more chariot archers. We see the Jarls going to town on these units here. The chariot archers trying to retreat back. The priest going to try and take the walking snowy pines down. Now Ancestors Eclipse coming down to defend, and Mista and Rapl should just simply retreat away from this. This could have happened over here. There was no reason for Mrboat to retreat there. He had Ancestors Eclipse. Now there's a retreat path for Rapl. Rapl wouldn't have been able to retreat away from the siege towers because the siege towers would have taken his town center down. Now he's just retreating away. He's going to take a little bit of damage on the retreat, but totally fine for Rapl here. He has got a lot of units here as well at 129, 130 pop. The Ancestors Eclipse are going to be finishing up soon. This gold mine, plenty of gold left in it, pumping out those units. He can even start thinking about making Huskal, and he's got the Jarl here. Does he have Ring Giver? He hasn't researched it yet. He can almost afford it, but he's not going for it. And the Ancestors Eclipse is going to finish, and there's still these walking woods here that Rapl can utilize. And we see him coming in to fight this just a little bit, but they're about to die. There they go. And now the Jarls are coming in, trying to take these units down and apart. The Jarls do a lot of damage. They are only Ulf Jarls, only with the medium upgrade, so they may not be that useful. See the Valkyrie retreating away from the priest. Mrboat not microing here. He needs to get those priests to target down the snowy pines, but the Jarls are on top of them here. The elephants doing tons of damage, tanking tons here, letting the chariot archers in the back do all the damage here, but all the priests basically have fallen. There's one priest remaining here, and that's going to be getting taken down very shortly as well. And now Rapl in a perfectly reasonable spot to continue, but Mrboat getting his third town center behind this one here. Now the siege tower, all the siege towers fall. Rapl in a lot of pain, or not Rapl in a lot of pain, Mrboat in a lot of pain here, simply because, well, he's got 4 town centers. I take it back. Mrboat, he's in an okay position. But Tyr. I mean, okay, Tyr. Why not? I was going to say, Rapl can just go Balder here. And the reason you go Balder on Midgard nearly 100% of the time is because normally you have all of this fish, which is like I say, when you have caravans, it's really, really strong to be able to convert only like 80% of your villages and keep 20% behind. It's really, really strong. We see the chariot raids coming in. This is nice by Mrboat, sensing this mythic edge coming, but it's gonna be Tyr. It's not gonna be Rag, so he's gonna get hit hard on the economy. We'll see if Mrboat can actually do anything with his town centers. He's probably gonna lose this town center very quickly, but it's looking like Rapl's retreating? No, he's not retreating. I don't know what he's doing. He's moving his Jarl's back, has to defend his gold mine. We see some Huskarl coming out to push these chariots away. And we see some mercenary coming out of this town center to defend, but I don't think he's going to be able to kill off. Well, actually, the Mountain Giant's pretty close to falling. So maybe he holds on to the town center here. But the push here from Mrboat coming in, taking down the front of the base here. The Jarl's going to be able to defend. Need to send those Huskarl over to tank these chariot archers. If you put a Huskarl onto the chariot archer line, now the Jarls don't go down very quickly. Like, they're not going down very quickly anyways, but that's the thing. There's the Fimble Winter. Oh, we're going to see, we're still seeing Mountain Giants coming for Rapl. So he's not making Fenris Wolves at all, but the Huskarl coming through, going to clean up these chariot archers very, very nicely. He can also think about getting Berserker Gang for the Ulfsark. He's got 414 gold left in the bank, so he's going to have to come over here and grab this town center. We'll see if the Fenris Wolves or the Fimbulwinter Wolves will take this town center down. Looks like they will be taking this town center down. That's very, very nice. For Rapl, gets a little bit lucky with that wolf spawn because he's actually hit every town center, so that's basically what it should do. Now the village is moving up to this gold mine here. Rapl has to continue putting the pressure on. He needs to come in and get this town center for himself. And what can Mrboat do here? No longer do you want to go Mythic Age through Thoth. That dream is dead in the water. You want to go through Osiris and get some mummies out and try and hold on with those super units. But he's throwing up siege works. Mrboat very far away from advancing. He's actually lost a lot of fishing ships now. We've got the Yorman Elver here as well. This unit is bonkers. Look at the damage. 40 hack. Wait, is it 40 hack damage? No, 40 pierce damage and has 100% accuracy. So this unit absolutely devastates the navy of anyone. You'll love to see the Mountain Giant special coming in to take down some houses in one shot. Mountain Giant's going to tear down this watchtower settlement, just about to come up for Rapl. Rappel's so far in front. We'll see him taking down another house, and boom, it goes down. Love to see it. That special ability is so cool. Yeah, we see Mrboat coming over. He's still making those elephant, but honestly, at this point, I'm not sure if the elephant are going to be working because, like, at some point here, Rapl has to start investing in those technologies. Getting Berserker Gang on those Ulfsark is so huge, makes them so strong. Getting Ring Giver for the Jarls, so important as well. But is he still building Mountain Giant? No, he stopped. So he's still got these Mountain Giant he can push in with. Still making some priests over here. He doesn't have funeral rites. In fact, I think he lost his temple, so he's not going to be able to rebuild those priests or get funeral rites very quickly at all. We see another house going down as Mrboat is at 144 of 145 population. Rapl pushing in, streaming into this position. He's going to try and get those Mountain Giants to take down the town center. He's using those special abilities, and look at that damage. Absolutely huge. The priests do manage to take one of the Mountain Giants down before moving on to the other one. You can see Mountain Giants only have 40% pierce armor, but they do have 1200 HP, so it's a lot of HP. You see the Mountain Giant doing ever so much damage here, but it looks like he will be falling. Probably should have just left the Mountain Giant there on the town center because he was going to die anyways. Doesn't do it now. Got the hill fort. Rapl 2 steps away from this. Does he see this? He does see the mining operation here, so he's going to be dealing with that a little bit later. There's the forest fire coming down. Going to be opening up the base. Opening this position up. I don't know if he wanted to open it up because now he can't wall here. I would have loved to have seen like a wall out. Boom, boom, boom. If he could have got it up. And then ballast to sneak in there. Towers around here. Utilize this forest a little bit better. But Rapl obviously wants to open this up a little bit and keep the stream of units in. Rapl is currently winning this game, but Mrboat not out of it. He's still on 3 town centers, still pumping units, and he's got shaft mine, so that's good. He doesn't have irrigation yet, but he may be okay if he's going to be building some axemen to deal with the infantry flood. The ballista actually going after this town center. All 4 of those ballistas do hit the town center, so it does tons of damage. We see mercenary cavalry coming in to snipe down one of these ballista. No walls. Basically, if you ever make ballista make walls. It's very rarely worth it to have Ballaster out in the middle of the map, because look at this, Mrboat can spend a 120 gold unit to kill your 300 resource unit, so, and maybe even come over and kill the other one as well. So it's really difficult, or really unwise to be making Ballaster out in the middle of nowhere. Now the war elephants pushing in here, maybe trying to take down some more units. And honestly, that goes for all of the ranged units. Petropolis, Catapult, Fire Siphon. Don't really want to build them without walls. Maybe not Fire Siphon because they're a little bit stronger. But Catapult and Petropolis for sure. Still pumping units in here. We've got fortified town centers. Look at the armory upgrades. Almost full bronze here to nothing. Nada. Mrboat has got nothing there. Now we're pushing through. The Ulfjarl's trying to take down these Axemen. Doing some good jobs here. The heavier Ulfsark pumping in. Mrboat not attempting to do anything over here. He's got all of these beautiful buildings set up, but no attempt at a side build. Make something over here. Siege works. Push in. This is the attack. This is the defense here. But if you can hold this for long enough, get some distraction over here. Rapl's got nothing here. This is where Rapl's weak. That's where you have to go if you want to stay in this game. If you're just going to defend, you're going to slowly fall behind. See, siege towers pushing in. The villagers coming in onto this gold mine. Oh no! Rapl's out of gold. He's got a trade route though. He started it. He's got 5 ox caravans. It's a very, very short trade route. He could fix that one up if he wanted to, but Rapl out of gold. He's moving in onto this gold mine. Going to be mining this one out. There's 2 gold mines left on the map, and Mrboat's got control of them. So if Mrboat can hold on actually here for long enough, maybe he can come out and get back into this game. Rapl's obviously going to try and get this trade route sorted. It's so bad here. 12 gold trade route. Oh no, it's a 34 gold trade route. But it's the villagers over here going after the buildings. Obviously, Rapl doesn't really need these villagers anymore. He needs to replace them with ox caravans. He's at 8 ox caravans. But he's still trading really, really well over here. This is super tough for Rapl. He's trying to finish this gold mine off. 300 gold left. And we see Mrboat doing exactly the same. Trying to get as much of this gold as he possibly can before it finishes. The dwarves dropping it all in. The chariot arch is taking these units down. That's almost doing, giving Rapl a bonus here. The buy sell. You can sell some wood for 46. Some food for 96. So there's still a good amount of trading that can be done to give yourself some gold in this game. Mrboat, he's still mining. He's still going to have a lot of gold here. So, but he does need to think about a trade route fairly soon. Let's look at these. These ballasts are actually doing work here because these mercenary cavalry aren't going after them. We finally see the elephants coming in. They die very, very slowly. Look at this damage that they can do. If Rapl micros a little bit here, he could be able to run away from those. He's not doing it, and he has cleaned up Mrboat's army there. Mrboat's still sitting below full population here. 12 ox caravans for Rapl. He's starting to get them. We'll see if he's ever going to fix up his trade, his market to be a little bit further back. If he goes here, it'll go straight from this location all the way to this town center. Alternatively, market here all the way to this town center is just as good. Now we see the walls. Yes! Get the walls up. Never stop trying. Some towers up to deal with the war elephant. Get crenellations. Watchtowers would be incredibly important here. See the elephant going down. Jarl's taking down those axemen beautifully. This tower almost up. Watchtower is coming through as well for Rapl, so it's getting everything out. Still only 13 ox caravans, as Rapl is definitely struggling to produce units here. But he's still trying to push through. 54 villages here for Rapl as well. Very low on the food. How are the food upgrades? He's got irrigation. No flood control. Has quarry though. And he's still trying to push in. And it's... Man, Mrboat, he has some opportunities here. Like I said, a side build would have been gnarly. Would have been really, really good. Or just an attempted side push there. But he's just getting completely routed here by this Norse army. And the constant flood in here is doing a lot of damage. We're seeing some more mercenary cavalry getting built out to help defend. Still, you've got this opportunity to build this wall. Get the wall up. You have to. Still not making those Huskal in enough of an amount here to go in and tank those cavalry. Oh no, those chariot archers there. Mercenary cavalry coming in. Watchtower is up. We don't see crenellations just yet by Rapl. That's one of the more important upgrades. And these ballast are slowly chipping away at the fortified town center here, as Mrboat is trading decently at this point. He's at 146 of 169 population. He could be building chariot archers from more military buildings here, but he's only going from one. Now the mercenary come in, he can come through, he can take down these ballaster again because the walls still haven't been set up. And the ox caravans are still going on 18 ox caravans, so Rapl's starting to get a decent trade route, just not decently placed trade route. And we see the town center getting very close to going down, pulling a lot of villagers in here. Where's the Pharaoh? Pharaoh needs to come over and empower this. And, oh no, Mrboat's out of gold. He's out of gold. No camel caravans have been produced by Mrboat. And he's out of gold. How do you build units when you have no gold? You simply do not. And we see the mountain giant coming and going to be trying to finish this one off. Just to add insult to injury, the villagers finish repairing the town center. They have no gold left. Mrboat can only sell. He's got a market up, but nothing else. And this mountain giant will take. Well, actually, he's going to get taken down by the units. It looks like, but it's going to be close. As Rapl's pumping out those Huskal to come in, more mountain giants coming in as Rapl is very, 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 very strapped for gold here as well. So it's a tough one for Rapl. We see the markets getting built by Mrboat. He can spam that trade very quickly. If he gets up 4 markets and has enough food income to support building them, he can get those up in like a minute, up to 20 camel caravans or something, which is sort of what you need. And the mountain giant does get in here. Will take down the fortified town center. And without that fortified town center, the trade route is only going to this location. So it's very, very average indeed. The mountain giants do manage to take that town center down. The Huskal taking these chariot archers down. Mrboat at 130 of 136 population. We do see a priest coming out, but that will get cleaned up very quickly by the Huskal. And now Rapl can come in, take this town center, and be at a very, very significant advantage. Now the mountain giants attempting to, well, finish this base off, but I don't know what Mrboat's trying to do. He's getting some raids over here. Love that. Finally hitting some side build once he's lost the town center. Too little too late, if you ask me. But it's a lot of damage being done, and I don't think Rapl has spotted it just yet. He's still focusing over here. Lots of damage. There he goes, retreating the villagers back into the town center. That's sort of the only wood line he's got. He can move over onto this location. If Rapl or if Mrboat can hit this trade line over here, he could really significantly hurt Rapl's gold income and keep himself in the game just a little bit here. Now the trade caravan's coming out. He's got 4 of them. Needs a lot more if he wants to continue here. And the mountain giant's just able to clean everything up as well. More villagers getting picked off. Mrboat with 60 villagers left and slowly losing more as the town center is looking like it's going to Rapl. And there's no way for Mrboat to defend here. He's sending his chariots in to try and snipe these mountain giants. Very, very slow and arduous process indeed. Now we see the Jarls coming in. Hey, thank you so much, True Drew PS, for the 2 months. Glad you're here as well, my friend. We've got some Scorpion Men coming out. Spicy, spicy Scorpion Men. This is something he probably should have been doing as soon as he saw Njord, but... Or, I mean, the Phoenix thing. Either or, but he didn't. And now, Rapl's 4 town centers. Trade route is popping off with 28 ox caravans. Still no attempt at fixing that trade route, but I guess at this point, it doesn't really matter. The Mountain Giant's pushing in. What are they looking for? Looks like he's maybe going after the Midgard. Look at this damage they do with that special. One Mountain Giant will fall before he gets it off, though, it looks like. Oh, no, he does get it off. Half HP's the Midgard in the space of 1 second there. Absolutely insane. More Mountain Giants coming in. Rappl's here to say, Njord, not a bad god indeed. And you see this Midgard stronghold going down as well. Incredibly quickly. And that's absolutely huge for him as he's sitting 180 population, lots of economy in the bank. Mrboat 97 of 106 population, missing houses as well as Rapl's taking them down, not able to continue producing, only has the one Midgard left and does end up tapping out in the 29th minute. GG. Well played by Rapl, but you have to ask the question here. Was this Njord popping off here? Or was this Mrboat's lackluster timing attack not working out? If he had simply just cast the Ancestors Eclipse here when the army was here, he definitely wins the fight. Those siege towers don't die, and he takes this town center down, or at least can keep peppering it, because Rapl sort of has to fight instead of running away. If Rapl runs away, you take the town center, you take the farms, you take this entire position, and you can go for town centers and feel real good about yourself. But he didn't do that, and Rapl defended nicely against the Ancestors Eclipse that was over here that he cast. And then when the push came with the Ancestors, he was kind of busy taking down longhouses, which are super low value, instead of going for the high value town centers or hill forts. And that was the game, with Rapl able to simply hit a tier timing, which is really nice. He took the town center down with the Fimble Winter, and then he was able to claim it for himself, getting 3 town centers, and then he can just push in and hold and just squeeze Mrboat's food economy with some beautiful raids onto the fish with the Yeoman Elvers and the myth units and everything else. And that was the game. If we check the post game out, you'll see the big story here is this. For the entirety of this, we see Mrboat's food economy very, very low. His food total very, very low. How is he supposed to get a trade route out after all of that harass from Rapl? And no return harass was a very big problem there. And that's the game. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.